Well, that was a disaster once again by the Chicago Bears. You would think after they fired an atrocious head coach that maybe there would be some new juice in the Chicago Bears, new energy, new inspite, optimism, or everything, but they absolutely get embarrassed by the 49ers. As far as Thomas Brown goes, this was his first game being the interim head coach. And we all know you're going up against the Niners, who, yeah, they had a lot of injuries, but they're a tough matchup. They went to the Super Bowl last year. Yeah, they're dealing with injuries, but they do have a very good head coach in Kyle Shanahan. And David McNiner and John Jay, you're going to get your videos just, earlier, later in the day. So, um, I do want to talk about this game before I even get to those two bets, but I digress. I'm not going to exclude Thomas Brown because this was his first game being the head coach. Yeah, he did play awful, but it was his first game being that interim head coach, and that takes a lot of responsibility. Yeah, the play calling was awful for the most part, but like I said, first game will evaluate him as these last remainder of the games go on. Because and talking about the defense completely gave up. They allowed Brock Purdy to have a comfortable pocket all game, and the 49ers offensive line looked like the Kansas City Chiefs because Brock Purdy had all the time in the world to throw the football. And as far as the offense goes, they didn't do anything in the first half. I mean, my gosh, if you just get up in the morning and you go to take a fucking piss, you would probably have more yards than the Chicago Bears offense in the first half, because that's what it felt like. You have 4 yards in the first half. That is completely unacceptable. And I think it's time to have the conversation about Ryan Poles. The same conversations that we had on Eberflus, the same conversations that we had on Justin. It's time to have the conversation about Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles, ever since he came into the Chicago Bears, has absolutely done nothing. Yes, you can make the case he has done some good moves in the offseason with, getting the quarterback, getting the wide receiver to pair with the quarterback. What else? Drafting Darnell Wright. What else? Absolutely fleecing the Carolina Panthers, acquiring DJ Moore, and trading a 4th-round pick for Keenan Allen. All I have to say is this. No matter what Ryan Poles does in this offseason, I am not going to be sold or change my opinion on Ryan Poles, because no matter what good he does, it does not produce on the field. 3-14 first year, 7-10, and your potential is going to be 4-13. Ryan Poles, ever since he was brought into the Chicago Bears, has claimed that he wants to take the North and never give it back. And everybody uses that against him. Every time the Bears lose, I lose count. Every time they lose, they bring up the press conference where he says, "I want to take the North and never give it back." Well, guess what? You haven't been doing that. All right. When it comes to most important pieces of this team, you have absolutely flopped. The offensive line has been a joke for the approximately of 3 years. And we know if you can't fix the offensive line, it will not matter who your quarterback is. It didn't matter if it was Justin. It didn't matter if it was Mitch Trubisky. It didn't matter if it was Jay Cutler or Rex Grossman. Hell, I can even go with Jim Harbaugh when he was the quarterback, or Jim McMahon when he was the quarterback. It will not matter if your offensive line does not produce. Offensive line is the important piece of building a complete offense. You see how the Detroit Lions did it? They built the offensive line was their first priority. They didn't go with the wide receivers because you want to know why? They addressed that shit in the draft. Now, I will say I'm not going to sound like a complete hypocrite, which people have assumed already. I do like the DJ Moore trade. I do like the Keenan Allen trade a little bit, and I also like drafting Roma Doomsday. But like I said, if the offensive line is going to be a issue, it will not matter if you have Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Julio Jones in his prime. If you have an offensive line that is complete terrible, then it's not going to matter if you have Tom Brady in his prime, because the quarterback needs time in the pocket. Even outside the pocket, he still needs time to block, and it will not matter if your offensive line is not producing well. I said this before, and I say this again. The only person that should stay on this team going forward is Darnell Wright. Braxton Jones is nothing but a depth piece. Tevin Jenkins, you can kindly listen. I know Tevin Jenkins is a free agent, but like I said, let him walk. Let him stay on that hospital bed. I mean, hell, even if he fucking sneezes, you probably would have to be worried if he gets hurt. Coleman Shelton, that was Ryan Poles' big misses, not addressing the center position in the draft. We don't even have a right guard. Like I said, Ryan Poles needs to completely revamp this whole offensive line, but even if he does sign the 5 the best Hall of Fame offensive linemen, I'm not going to be what's the word? I'm not going to be sold on Ryan Poles if he does that, because what have you done for me lately? As far as the head coaching evaluation goes, I will keep the same energy, even though I will like the hire of Ben Johnson. I will like the hire of Lincoln Riley, Cliff Kingsbury, etc., but that's another video for a different time. But like I said, I'm done with Ryan Poles until he convinces me otherwise, that he can put a product on the field. And all these rumors about Kevin Warren wanting to run the Chicago Bears fully, I don't mind it, actually, because at least he is tired of the BS. All right. Ryan Poles, when Matt Eberflus got fired, the press conference, he looked like he didn't want to be there. All right. That's because that's how bad of a pick of a selection Eberflus was. So, Ryan Poles, thank you for drafting the quarterback that the Bears haven't found in a long time. Thank you for all the good signings, but I don't trust you to go to build this team even further to compete for a Super Bowl until you prove me otherwise. We're not even saying make the Super Bowl this year. We're just saying show improvement from last year, and it's looking like they haven't. This team is going 4-13. 4-13. Maybe they probably win a fluke game here or there, but they're not. I'm not seeing a win on their schedule. But at least show improvement that you care, even though that's totally hard for you. But like I said, it's time to have the conversation about why Ryan of Ryan Poles. But I do want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel about this game. There really isn't too much positive besides maybe the Caleb and Rome connection and TJ Edwards. But other than that, the whole team can probably walk the rest of the way home. Just like I said, it's just embarrassing. This team is testing patience, and I know I've said I'm going to still stream games, but we're not. I'm going to be skeptical for what is to come. So let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel. As always, thanks for watching. And no, I'm not saying bear down until they win, which will probably be in a long time.